Every day, Canadian Armed Forces members across the globe risk their lives to support our allies, partners, and friends, and to uphold values that Canadians hold dear: peace, freedom, and respect for the dignity of all people. But it is clear we have not lived up to our responsibility to protect members from misconduct. Over the past months, Canadians have heard from members affected by sexual trauma and sexual misconduct. They've shared their heart wrenching accounts. To every member in the Canadian Armed Forces, to every person in the Department of National Defence who has been affected by sexual harassment and violence and felt that we were not there to support you, I'm truly sorry. We also know that the current reporting systems do not meet your needs, and too often you do not feel able to report misconduct out of fear of reprisal or retribution. We have heard you, we have listened, and we are taking action. We know we must transform the culture of the defense team to one of dignity and respect, and we need to put in place an external reporting system outside of the chain of command to begin rebuilding confidence. These changes must be comprehensive, and most importantly, it must be lasting. And it must address the systemic challenges at the root of the problem: abuses of power, discrimination, biases, harmful stereotypes. It is why Madame Louise Arbour, former Supreme Court Justice, has agreed to lead an independent external comprehensive review of our institutional policies and culture. Over the coming months, we expect Madame Arbour to provide concrete recommendations on how the Canadian Armed Forces and the Department of National Defence can set up an independent external reporting system for defense team members that meets the needs of those who have been impacted by sexual misconduct. This system needs to be focused on those who have been impacted by misconduct, be responsive to their needs, and be outside of the chain of command and the Department of National Defence. Anything less cannot be accepted. Anything less will not be accepted. Madame Arbour and her team will provide significant direction on how we must evolve to support affected people, and how we can ensure that every incident is handled appropriately. Part of this work also includes looking at the current structures of the Canadian Armed Forces and the Department of National Defence and the Sexual Misconduct Response Centre to see how we can strengthen them to provide greater confidence to those who need support. She will also examine the performance evaluation and promotion system in the Canadian Armed Forces, with a focus on how leaders are selected and trained. This review will also look at the military justice systems, policies, procedures, and practices to see how we can make this system more responsive to the needs of those who have experienced misconduct while holding perpetrators accountable. As Madame Arbour works, and this is important, she will be able to provide interim recommendations that the Department of National Defence and the Canadian Armed Forces commit to acting upon. And as we continue our work with the defense team, we will also create a new organization, the Chief of Professional Conduct and Culture, under the leadership of Lieutenant General Jenny Carrion. This team will be responsible for creating the conditions for cultural transformation by unifying, integrating, and coordinating our ongoing efforts across the Department of National Defence and the Canadian Armed Forces. Their goal is to ensuring that our actions and behaviors reflect the very best parts of our organization and Canadian society. Their efforts will closely align with the work being carried out by the external review, informed by best practices, as well as experts, advocates, and those with lived experience inside and outside of our institution and at all levels. We're dedicated to creating lasting cultural change across the defense team, changing that is enduring, change that meets the needs of those who have experienced sexual misconduct. Throughout this process, we have heard from organizations and individuals that we must do more to support people when they have been harmed. One step is our recognition of members and veterans who have military sexual trauma. And with the $236 million funding from Budget 2021, we will work with Veterans Affairs Canada to develop a peer support network for Canadian Armed Forces members and veterans affected by sexual assault or sexual harassment during their service. We're committed to funding peer-to-peer support online and in person, as well as expanding the reach of the Sexual Misconduct Response Center across the country, as noted in Budget 2021. This program will include both online and in-person group support, as well as an app that will connect members to confidential peer support 24/7 anywhere across the globe. It will be designed and facilitated by professionals, clinicians, and people with lived experience, ensuring the best support is available. This funding also ensures that we will continue our efforts to implement the Declaration of Victim Rights in our military justice system. We're currently consulting with victim groups, and we will soon launch an online questionnaire to solicit anonymous feedback so we can implement the regulations needed for Bill C-77. Taken together, these initiatives are critical to building a true culture of inclusion where everyone is treated with dignity and respect. But these are just the first steps. We know we have to keep moving forward. We know we have more to do. We know we need to regain your trust. We are committed to a lasting change, one that sheds the toxic and outdated values, practices, and policies that have harmed our people. Today is the beginning of that. It is not the end. Thank you. Merci beaucoup.